Hello and welcome everybody to Inspiration by Brad. A few years back I wrote this article and it got printed in a couple magazines, and I thought I'd dig it back out again since Inspiration by Brad is all about drawing inspiration on subject matters that are right there in front of us, and depending on your thought process and your opinion, I want to make you think just a little bit. So the subject matter that I'm going to talk about is, what if God is gay? And depending upon your reaction to this is going to depend on what you've been taught. So sit back and listen before you make a judgment on what I'm going to say. And then you can write in all your hate mail and all your negativity, but listen to what I'm going to say. So depending upon who you are at this moment in your existence as a human being, your answer to this question or this statement says everything about who you actually are. Where did your mind race to when you asked yourself that question? What if you are merely having an experience based upon your gender in this lifetime? Would it change the way you think, or the way you react, or what is going on around you? Are you open-minded enough to accept the possibility that God is all of it? Are you even more open-minded to accept the quite possibly you are God, experiencing what it is you are experiencing based on what you have chosen to be in this lifetime? In today's world, the argument goes back and forth as to whether the group or that gets any recognition for who they are. Some human beings are constantly struggling and literally fighting with others to have the right to be who they are, to have the same rights or privileges as everyone else. This article is not going to debate that issue. But what we are going to debate is if there needs to be a debate at all. Because does it really matter? If God is everything, what does it matter? If God is everything, isn't there a level playing field for everyone when it comes to their existence? What I'm saying is, do you really think that God cares if you're any of the above? One or the other? I guess it falls back on your belief as to what God is, and whether you believe there is even a God out there somewhere in the vast universe. Let's pose a possibility to you, shall we? Most human beings believe, or have been led to believe, that God is this all-powerful, omnipotent being that can't be reached or touched, who sits upon a throne of gold and makes all these decisions, and you are usually a sinner in its eyes. Then, depending on how well you perform in this human existence, this God will reward you. What if you are God? Oh my goodness. Blasphemy, blasphemy, blasphemy. What if you are the very being that man says is outside of yourself and you're untouchable? What if changing the way you treated others, would it change the way you treated others or even yourself? What if God doesn't make those decisions? You do. You make those decisions based upon who you are at this very moment in your existence. If God knows everything, based upon your religious teachings, if God knows everything, and you are God, How powerful then does that make you? It would certainly clear the way of any feelings of lacking something based upon your gender. It would definitely take out of that equation the judgment that is so rampant on this plane of existence. And it would most certainly eliminate the argument as to who has rights and who doesn't, because the other being would also be God. Right? This is the missing element that no one wants to accept. You are here as a being experiencing this human existence just the way you are. And you're God, whether you like it or not. So would that change the way you look at everything around you? Would it change the way humans treated everyone around them? Or how you treated others? If you knew that everyone else was God too? That everyone else is the same being, just experiencing this life from a different vantage point or perspective. Think about that for just a minute before you go making a judgment on any of this. Belief systems tend to be extremely binding and resistant. They're all resistant to change and possibility. In general, human beings tend to get fixated on certain beliefs and then remain closed off to all other variations of thoughts. Do you realize that you are having thoughts that are different from everyone else? Does it matter to you that you are? That maybe you believe or have likened thoughts to those of religions or other groups around you? The truth is, every single person thinks differently. Can you grasp that? You do not ever think exactly alike. It's impossible to think alike, because the thought will always trigger an emotional reaction, and no two human beings experience the same emotion the same way. That emotion turns your thoughts into your experience, and therefore no one is ever having the same experience. So why even try? God is all thought, all variations, all possibilities. We know this is true because if it wasn't, we would all be the same. Isn't it absolutely thrilling and delightful that we are all not the same? What if we simply allowed all the variations and saw all of them as such, just a variation? Would you then embrace them? Would you declare them as just a variation? What would the world be like if we allowed everyone, including ourselves, to love and to embrace the thought or the idea that we're all one, that we're all God, and we're all the same, just having different experiences? What if this is the truth, folks? Think about it and write in your comments to me. Inspiration by Brad. Have a great day.